good morning, Australia. Good evening, America. You're back on Radio Toni, and this is a conversation with Kez, my beautiful co-host, Kez Wickham St. George, international best-selling author, and I host a show every time this week where we talk to interesting people about their writing exploits mostly. Now, for those of you that are listening live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, we have the gorgeous Payo in the Philippines ready to answer your questions, take your comments, and respond to anything that you might be interested in. Another place where you can find information about our beautiful guests and all of their connections is on radiotoni.com. So on radiotoni.com, you will find under our guests, particularly under Kez and my show, you'll find the links to all the people that we talk to. This show is obviously focused on interesting people and their writing or their books. Now, a little bit about my co-host, Kez. She is the driver of her own creativity, and her passion is to inspire and nurture others to tell their stories. Her values are simple. When you touch a heart, you can change a life. By encouraging you to write or journal, her belief is it will add value to your life, and hence why we do a show each week talking about that. Now, our beautiful guest today is Cristiana Tudor from New York, and she believes that when good people make good money, they can do great things. She's a successful author, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and investor in early stage companies. And her goal is to inspire women globally to stand for themselves and not to waste energy trying to validate their purpose, their sense of being and worth. Every woman stands in her unique and special merits and abilities, and we are not measured by anyone else's yardstick. Christiana's favorite quote is, "Magic is believing in yourself, and if you can make that happen, you can make anything happen." Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. So today, both Kez and I are really excited to have Christiana on the show. She is both a friend to both of us, and she's also working with Kez currently at the moment. Now, we're going to talk to Christiana about all her life and her journey and what led her to be doing what she does now. So, Christiana, I'm going to start off our conversation today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It's such an honor to be here and serve your audience, inspire them to become the best version of themselves.
Christiana, have you always had a passion for inspiration, or did it strike at a certain time in your life?
So I have always been driven by my passion. So I started out as a social media specialist. So started working with a lot of doctors and entrepreneurs and innovators and industry disruptors towards campaigns to support people, to educate them so that they can make decisions and take steps regarding their health and well-being. So with that said, I was orchestrating successful campaigns, award-winning campaigns. I was getting, international recognition for everything that I was doing. However, I felt that it was not enough. That was not my purpose, because to me, what was more important was that people had to know, unleash their potential. And just talking about various medical conditions was not supposed to fix the problem, because I always look at why.
Yes.
Is it happening, and why is it happening the way it happens and not the other way around? So I always look at the cause. Either I talk about a medical condition or not. And so to me, it was so important to help others understand their whys, because I have been able to find my why and thrive. And so I wanted to help others find their why and thrive in life and business.
Yeah.
Because I have always considered that certain medical conditions really come into our lives, and we get that diagnosis. Sometimes,
Yes.
it's painful. Sometimes it's that word that we never want to hear, but it happens. And so you stop for a second and you start asking yourself questions. Why? And I have a bachelor degree in journalism, and I have a master's in rhetoric and logic and epistemology. So to me, it was so important to take a look at the root cause. And so I
Yes.
discovered that the moment you are not following your passion, you're not doing what you are supposed to be doing, you don't have a clear mission, or maybe you have it, but you don't follow it for various reasons, that's a sign that the body is sending you through pain
Mm.
or a medical diagnosis, a medical condition, that you're not on the right path. You're not doing the.
Uh-huh.
And so, I've started writing about it as social media posts. And then I realized
Yes.
that, this wasn't the best way to go about it. So I have, upskilled. I have, leveled up to storytelling because
Uh-huh.
I thought,
Is that
okay, if I have a story, if I have my why, other people have their whys. And so why don't doctors or, the clients that I work with, why wouldn't they have their whys?
yes.
And so I started documenting myself and started having this new approach, talking about my why, right? Like from my client's perspective. Why?
Yes.
Why am I doing what I'm doing? So that people can resonate with my message, with my story, with my purpose. And that way, I'm not going to chase money. I am
Yeah.
chasing greatness. And then
Yes.
money follows. And so that approach really took me years because I couldn't find the right path. I couldn't find the right medium to communicate
Mm-hmm.
these things. Just wanted to help others understand this. And so,
Christiana, is that what led you to Kez? Kez, is that how you and Christiana connected in that storytelling space?
I think so. If I remember rightly, I think so. It was I realized just after a conversation with Christiana that she did have a very poignant story to tell. Um, but one of the questions I'd like to ask Christiana is, you say that you're a best-selling author and that you have written a book. Can you tell us the name of that book so that the listeners can look for it?
so the book that I've written, in fact, the first book that I wrote is in Romanian, the country that I'm originally from, Romania. And
Oh, wow.
it's a book that I've written with interviews to support children who were very, very gifted, but were not having enough funds to support their talent. So either we talk about art, painting, and so I've written that book, and then the book sold all over the country, and the funds that were raised supported these children. So
That's
that
fabulous.
Oh, wow.
so I did that
Yeah.
when I was 20. I was very, very young at the time, but my goal was to help. And I knew that my gift, the gift that I have to write, because I love writing content. Either I talk about stories, I talk about posts that go across various social media channels, but I love writing. And so I wanted to use my hands, my brain, and my heart to support this incredible mission that I knew I was given.
Okay,
And
so when you have your when you start your writing process, for me it's like it normally comes to me in my sleep or when I'm daydreaming. You know, TV's boring and my brain just relaxes and I get these ideas. So, how does your writing process, or how does your writing process begin? Is it planned, or is it written out, or does it just come into the mind as you're thinking about writing?
so it's very complex. It's a mix of various aspects. So I read, um, and many times I look at art, paintings, sculptures, photography. I go a lot in nature and I take photography. It's not for the purpose of sharing in social media, it's just for inspiration. And many times, what happens is I have that seed, that idea in mind. And it takes a while to see it making, right? In the making. So it takes a while. And I would feel the stages until it comes out as an idea so that I can start journaling, so that I can start writing about it. So before I start journaling, I have this meditation philosophical process to articulate my vision for the book. And then I start journaling. Then I start articulating, in drafts, what I want to say, the main ideas, my goal, my vision for the book, and what it is exactly that I want to share, because everything that I want to share has a clear purpose. So it's not just for the sake of having, 10,000 words, but it's rather with a clear meaning, because I want to touch lives in a way to build legacy. So that's how I go about the process.
So, Christiana, when you write, it always has some sort of initial vision or purpose. So you write with the end in mind. Is that what I'm hearing?
So yes, everything that I write has a purpose. So either I talk about healthcare, right, or about my clients, or I talk about myself when I'm writing a book. I always write with a clear purpose in mind, and that's what I'm teaching, to live purposefully and write as such. So all my content, all my posts really have a purpose. Because when I'm telling the story, if I don't have, a call to action, visit the website or do this or do that, but I've expressed there a story with some elements, and these are generating emotions. So I'm not writing because, the day was blank and, I had nothing to post, but I'm very, very meaningful about what it is that I write. So I was sharing the other day in social media about a powerful conversation that I had with Cass. Now, what I didn't want to reveal at the time, but I'm going, because I wanted to keep it for today. I have never shared it anywhere, but I'm keep it for today, just for this special moment. I have once a week that special time with Cass, and it's not just about coaching to express my story in a way, to write a book in a
Yes.
better way. But she is empowering me in a way. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I started crying and I had goosebumps. And I burst into tears because she empowered me in a way to be able to articulate that part of the story. I'm going to share with you what she told me. So, she told me,
Please.
"Hey, you are so good, like you are good at what you do." And I said, yeah, I know I'm very good at what I do. But, sometimes I don't take that time, to really realize, okay, I'm very good at what I do. I celebrate some milestones, but usually that's, towards the end of the week or towards the end of the
Yeah.
campaign. But, and I told her that. And you know what she replied? She told me, "No, you got it all wrong.
Mm.
Your work
There's
is
that kid's wisdom.
yes, exactly. You so your work is not amazing. Yes, you do things right. I know, but you are amazing
Yeah.
as a woman, as an individual,
Yeah.
and as a whole."
Yeah.
That moment created a breakthrough.
What
So
was it about?
people,
What was it about what Kez said that generated that high level of emotion, Christiana?
because I always see myself from the impact that I'm making into people's lives. So I always see
Yeah.
myself, okay, I'm very good at what I do. And I know what I'm doing, and I, provide results, and that this is that. But I have never thought to say, I am amazing as a woman,
Mm.
because I see myself as a value through what I do. So because
Yeah.
I'm valuable and I work with high level professionals, with
Yeah.
authentic professionals and ethical professionals,
Yeah.
Mm.
I have that confidence. I know what I'm doing. I'm very good at what I do, because that's my definition of someone who brings value, massive value.
Mm.
However, the piece that was lacking, though, was myself as a whole, because you need to be amazing as a human being, as a
Yeah.
whole, to be able to deliver what you deliver. I mean, what I deliver. And so
Yeah.
I never thought about putting it the way, Kaz did. And she genuinely,
I want to meet this woman. I think she's marvelous.
this, this,
How marvelous you are, Kez. There isn't
Look,
any doubt
to,
about
to,
it.
to reach the level that Christiana's at, you have to be ready. You really do. All my writers that finally I say, take that big breath and look at yourself. They have to be ready because, we are taught from a very young age to hide our special things, whether it be treasures or whether it be our personality. Toni, you and I are in that age bracket that we realize that we don't have to hide anymore what we bring forth to the public. And Christiana's reached that a little bit earlier. There's definitely a fantastic age. There's an age bridge right now happening between the three of us. And
Yes.
I reached at I got busy with motherhood and everything. So writing and work, and I see that you did too. And we forget that the work we put into other people actually tells on them, not on us. We walk away
Yeah.
and we think, as Christiana started to
What's
cry, I
that?
thought, I really upset her. What have I done? But then she told me what the impact of a few choice words. And
Yes.
when Christiana's writing, Christiana, if you had the opportunity to see that the people that you have impacted with your writing words, people that have read your book and thought, wow, I can do what she's doing, because that's what most of us go through. We think, I either want to be like her or I can do that. The sad thing about when you get that question in your head is, I can be like her. Well, you can't, because I'm me. But
That's
you
right.
have to look at the impact that you, not anyone else, but the person standing in your shoes, look at that impact that you're leaving behind. So I was a little surprised when, yes, you cried. But I do have another question for you. And is, what age group would your book attract?
So, I think any woman between, 20 and, I would say 55, because I feel that we as women are growing, and either we discover this incredible potential that is within us, when we are very, very young, and we are able to get that inspiration and that motivation, or we can, do so later on in life. But as long as we are able to discover it, I feel that that's not a waste of time and energy. Every time you're pursuing the magic. So I have a very dear friend, Annie Gibbons, and she keeps talking about, and I love this philosophy about magic transformation, to be more, to achieve more. And that's something that, that magic, because we can create our own magic.
Of course.
Every time we discover our potential, but we follow our passion. Sometimes, it may be scary. Sometimes it may be, oh, I don't know what's next. I don't think you need to know what's next necessarily, but you need to guide yourself. Let yourself be guided by your emotions, the emotional intelligence that you are creating, you are building, and you are cultivating on a daily basis. And the emotional intelligence becomes higher and higher the more you pursue your passion and that magic within yourself.
Do you feel that within the writing world that the actual communication skills has become lost within the writing skills? So what do people prefer, digital or words and books? What are people preferring these days?
So I think people tend to prefer the digital communication and not writing the full word, misspelling words, abbreviations and all this. But some people, I think, really felt the need to come back to smelling the pages of a book. Because
there's nothing like it. There's nothing like that, is there? What do you think, Toni?
I think that so as you girls probably know, I'm a huge fan of audio. I like to I was a voracious reader as a young person. I read everything that I could get my hands on. I had bookcases full of books. But as I've gotten older, I actually like the I like to have the words in my ears. So I'm an audiobook consumer, and I tend to buy my books from so that I can listen to them. But as Kez says, there's nothing quite like the smell of a new book and the paper as you flick the pages open and devour a book. And I think that there will always be books in whatever capacity, be that ebooks, audiobooks, or paperbacks. I don't think they're ever going to go out of fashion, Jez. I think that humans are connected by stories, and we are storytellers at heart. I don't think that's going to change, Christiane. That storytelling component of our psyche is going to be there for forever, I think. It just may be that we change the way that we hand that off to the younger generations.
Yes, I think,
I agree.
They will eventually, come back to paper, because that experience really allows you to meditate towards certain concepts, really come back to it and absorb everything like a sponge. So it's a unique experience that I absolutely love.
Absolutely. There's in thinking about adult learning as well, there's a connection between writing down notes and reading back, so that writing, reading is an important part of humanity. So I just think that even in a digital age, we still need to encourage people to write down and write their stories, because they're important. They're the way that the future generations will look back at this generation and see and remember what we did, what we thought. Writing is a way to generate that vision of that time and place, be it fictional or real. It takes you to a certain point, and you can, in your imagination, see that point and feel what that person is feeling, etc. So it's very valuable, even in the digital age, Kez. And I know Kez is getting more and more busy helping prospective authors and authors to write their stories. Christiana, your focus is, of course, a lot on the social media. And do you find it difficult to condense what you're trying to write about into the different social media formats?
Yes. To be honest with you, the platform that gives me issues in that regard is LinkedIn, because it has that limitation. So whatever I want to add, I do it in comments, so people know that, and they follow through. But generally, it means the world to me every time I get comments saying, I didn't know that, you saved my life, I'm going to do something about it. Or, as a result of what I've read, I went to the doctor and got, a screening, and I, got a diagnosis, and, now I got something in early stages, or even better, I thought about preventing it, because I feel we need to prioritize our health and well-being.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't,
absolutely,
we cannot pour from an empty cup. We need to take care of ourselves.
That's right.
Not
take your power back.
So. That's why one of my focuses is working with doctors, and then I work a lot with empowerment specialists globally. So I, through what I do, I feel that I fulfill my mission, and I nurture who I am and my becoming. So
that's very good.
Anna really, help me understand who I want to be, but most importantly,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I want to be who I am today.
Yeah.
And that's important. So
Yeah.
the new and enhanced Christiana really has these resources from experience. I have an over 11 years experience in storytelling and social media, and over 15 years, overall. That includes media production. I started out
Yes.
actually as a radio producer. So to me, it's important to find my why and be on the path. And you will feel it, because the moment you are not and you get out of your alignment, just like with your body, when you're
Yes.
out of its alignment, you will feel it. Is the
Mm.
same thing
Yes.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I just want to inspire other people to really dig deep into their diagnosis, into their life, into their patterns, into their habits. I have a book coming up at the end of next month that is all about, the number one habit that allowed me to thrive in life and in business, and really allowed me to chase greatness. And so,
Yeah.
the book is called One Habit, and it's I'm about that, but I'm going to expand that in the book that I'm currently working on, that is going to be
Yeah.
launched soon enough, right? But I'm going to talk about how important it is to embrace everything that you have gone through. Either we talk about
Yes.
emotional abuse, either we talk about, unpleasant experiences, either we talked about
Yes.
toxic, individuals at the professional level that I had to deal with, that were undermining me for various reasons. But I have
Yeah.
embraced that. And now, guess what I'm doing? I avoid doing that because I know how it feels. But I have been
Yeah.
able to attract some of my clients experienced the same issues
Yes.
because I've been there. I'm able to serve them at the highest level because I'm not. It's not just that I know how it feels.
Yeah.
I know how to deal with it. And with that said, I know that what I've gone through hasn't been in vain, because now I'm able to
Yeah.
give a helping hand to other women, who just don't know how to eliminate the emotional abuse that they are enduring at work.
Yeah. There seems to
They've
be.
been affected by that. And so now they're trying to open their own practice to thrive. And so, guess how
Yeah.
I feel? I'm replicating what I've done for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. There seems to be, I know in Australia at the moment, it's quite a topical conversation around women and bullying, because we're seeing some of our very high profile women suffering at the hands of being bullied. And it's quite public, and it's quite evident for those of us that have been bullied in the workplace before. Why do you think that we have such an issue with bullying, Christiana? Just to deviate a little bit from our topic today, um, it seems to be really prevalent, and it doesn't seem to be resolving itself.
So I think the first problem is comes from discrimination. So I
Yeah.
still feel that women
Yep.
are discriminated. I was still learning that in Italy there has been a sports competition recently, and they had two hosts, a lady and a gentleman.
Yes.
The gentleman
Yes.
was paid 100 euros more for the same type of work, just to make a point.
Mm.
But I also
Yes.
feel that, some people have a certain level, right, of expertise, and they can do
Yes.
things until a certain point. That's what they can do. That's their limit. Now, the moment someone who's competent enough to break that limit, to break that barrier,
Yeah.
is going to put their position into jeopardy.
Yeah.
It's like it happened in my case. And so what's going to happen is they're going to try to undermine you because they want to dominate you. And because
Yes.
they want to hide what they cannot do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because we've been taught to do that, though.
Yes, I
As
agree.
females, as young women, we are taught by our mothers who were bullied. And was it bullying, or was it just accepting the life that they were told by their mothers? And by their mothers,
That
it
they
goes
had
right
to.
down the line. My mother was very proud of being called a housewife. I was shocked at being called a housewife.
Yes.
So it's what we believe. I firmly believe that. Christiana, if you had the opportunity to have the 7-year-old sitting beside you, what would you say to her?
Believe in yourself and make the magic happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. We forget, don't we, girls? We forget that we once had childhood belief in the world. We forget that we once had an imagination and dreams, and somewhere along the track, those dreams and imagination gets a little bit lost, and we forget that we have that power and strength within us to do whatever we're passionate about, because somewhere along the line, particularly for women and girls, something tells us that we need to be quiet, don't speak out, don't tell your story. So many women still hold that thought from, I guess, childhood, and a society that tells you as a woman, you can't do this, or you can't say that, or you can't, we get popped into a corner and told to be and act a certain way. And women have such powerfully wonderful intuition and a higher level of understanding of things intuitive. And if we could only tap into that more and be accepted as our ability to tap into that, I think that we would have better conversations, and that, there would be better opportunities for women in
Definitely.
particular. There would be, having women at the conversation at the table when we're talking about anything will bring a more balanced view to the world and humanity. Christiana, I know that you specifically love helping female entrepreneurs. Do you use storytelling? Is that your primary way of helping female entrepreneurs?
Yes, so that's my primary way of helping them, because, and I also work with their mindset in that regard, because
Yes.
it's just people do have different understanding levels of what social media is. So some of them say,
Yes.
just posting there something, and I have never had such clients, but what I'm saying is, I always go through all the aspects of storytelling and explain what it is and why is it the next level of social media. And, because social media says me, I'm here, visit my website, purchase this, get that. Whereas storytelling does and involves actually active social media listening. So you're listening to the communities, questions, concerns, issues, and then you
Yes.
position yourself out there as an expert by responding to these questions, by
Yeah.
reflecting your why, because people need to know, okay, who are you? You know, I was
Yes.
reading recently a study from the UK, according to which 80 up to 90% of the blogs dedicated to weight loss offer wrong information. And people unfortunately take it for granted just because, you know, it comes from X, Y, and Z.
Oh.
But, you know, working with authentic professionals who do have a strong why, of course, they want to generate income, right? Because otherwise you would just have a hobby.
Yes.
They have this strong sense of really delivering massive value. And by doing that, people are resonating with their story, with their why. Take time to educate people because they don't know. I always do that.
Yes. Yes.
That's crucial. They don't know, but you do. When people come to me, you know, many times they may ask for something, but they don't even know what they're asking for because they don't know the industry. They don't understand.
Yeah.
And so I need to take my time to educate them. That's why I always incorporate the mindset aspect. I'm not a mindset coach though.
Yeah.
I explain people how this works.
Words have power.
They do. So
They have
when
immense...
you've sorry, Toni.
No,
Cristiana,
you go, Kez.
So when you get, is it called fempreneurs? I find that an interesting name, fempreneurs, because I think going back in whatever history I go back, and we've always had these amazing women that have been leading the world with their words. And even, you know, right back in history, there's been these amazing women. So what do you ask them? What do you ask them? What inspires them? Are they going to leave their words behind? And how are they going to do that? Are they going to do it through their actions or bringing up their children or through their lifestyle? What would you expect, that sort of answer from a fempreneur?
So I think a fempreneur really needs to, first of all, be authentic, an authentic professional. And she needs to know what she does. She needs to know what she's doing. She needs to have credentials for that to back it up. And she needs to have some confidence that, you know, whatever she is providing, whatever she wants to create as service or as a product is going to have massive impact. Because if you don't believe in what you want to create, how are you expecting someone else to do it? So I listen to their story. I listen to their whys, right? We are coming back to this. And while I do that, I understand where I should start and, you know, how are we going to go about that? You know, the process. But these are the things that I'm expecting because that's what it means to be a fempreneur. You're not just an entrepreneur. You are, because you see, I could have used female entrepreneur as a word, right? Because technically speaking, it would be the same thing. But I've used fempreneur because nowadays, to be a woman, it's an art itself. To be a great sister, a great mother, a great wife, a great partner, incredible at what you're doing at work, making an impact. So I think incorporating these all, you're not just an entrepreneur, but you are a fempreneur because at the same time, you are a woman. And keeping the community while you are doing business, that's crucial.
It is crucial.
Yeah.
Well said.
Business doesn't raise the tone of her voice, doesn't yell. You raise the quality of your arguments. You raise the quality of your standards. You learn how to negotiate contracts. I have a background in law. I mean, I haven't studied law, but I've taken a lot of law classes. So I understand where to look at in a contract, and how to protect myself, but also how to protect my clients, because I work a lot with healthcare, and so law is so important in that. So I I look up for them in that regard. But I always look at what I can do to raise my standards and the quality of the people that I surround myself with, that I work with.
Oh, that's so important.
I can keep
definitely.
I don't need to be a soldier, right? A military, like an army, when I go to work. But I keep my femininity. And by doing that, I'm able to inspire other women to do the same. Last week, I was having a powerful conversation with Annie Gibbons. And so, we were on a mastermind call, and she kept telling me, oh, we need to, follow Cristiana just because, she keeps smiling all the time. But that is smiling because I can be myself, and I have a certain quality that I
absolutely.
So I think that's so important as part of our lives, to keep our femininity, to learn how to be, not to forget how to be women, because I think we know how to, but then we become tougher and tougher as we enter into the job market, as we enter into the corporate world, and we need to dress a certain way, and we forget to be feminine. So I don't want to lose that, because that's part of us, right? That's who we are.
Yes.
I agree. What you said there, Christiana, really made quite an impact when you said being a female or a preneur or fempreneur is an art, because it really is an art to walk into anywhere these days. I just find a woman, a fempreneur, she's got to be amazing in all ways. But I think that's born in us. We don't have to push it. We don't have to think, oh, well, I must learn that and I must learn that. I think it's born within us. We just have to tap it and tease it out to the extent we want it to. I mean, there are some amazing females out there that don't realize their greatness. And that's sad. That's what we need to bring out in a woman, whether it be in writing, digital, no matter, or just talking to them. We need to bring that out.
Indeed.
And it's not a competition either. I had a couple of recent conversations
with each other, but women empower one another. So we need
yes.
We need to inspire, motivate each other, and just support each other, because when we do that, we are creating that whole holistic approach.
Yes, definitely.
Love is created. So we are the base of society. So we need to thrive so that society is going to thrive.
Exactly. You're too young to have all this knowledge.
I think the other thing that's important to remember about women in particular is we create human beings from cells. We are lucky that we get to do that. So if you think that from a perspective of women, we get to create human beings. So why then do we not allow ourselves to create whatever it is that we're passionate about, be that a big business, be that a book, it's all creation. And we forget that we have this amazing creative ability inherently within every woman, because every woman has that capacity to grow / create a baby, and we do it unconsciously. We don't have to think about growing a baby. It happens. And we forget as women that that's a power in itself. And if we translate that into life and business, we can create anything that we can dream of. And we can create that with some conscious action, but there could be a lot of unconscious stuff that allows us to free-flowingly create that life that we want. Cristiana, I know you've got a special offer. I just wondered if you could quickly tell the audience today about your little special offer of a 30-minute consultation. What will people get?
So what I just want to do is to serve. Like I always say, serving is my passion. So I would like to offer a free 30-minute consultation with me, which means, whoever needs help in crafting their message from a storytelling perspective. So they're going to be able to, generate patients and clients, for their businesses. I'm able to offer that so I can guide, in that direction. So I'm super excited about that. It's so fulfilling because, there's definitely no way I can, help everybody, but at least I can offer, 30 minutes so I can guide them on the right direction that is going to help them thrive in business and have filled and happy life altogether. Because the moment your business is taking off, your life is thriving because you have, not just a steady income, but you feel that whatever you're doing is working, and so you become happier.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're going to become healthier as well. So it's, they go hand in hand.
I was going to say, Cristiana, just tapping back into your background in health, over the course of my journey, realizing that unhealed trauma, et cetera, can all be linked to physical symptoms within our body, and that my health has been so much better once I started following what I was meant, my life path, and knowing what that was and following what that was, my health. So in the background, I had chronic aggressive rheumatoid arthritis, which is completely debilitating and kept me bedridden. But once I started to find out what I should be doing, where I should be, how I should be in life, I started to get better. So there's lots of those links between our health presentations, our mind, our body, and our life path. And Cristiana, if you can help people on a 30-minute call to just start to follow what that might look like for them and start to create that life that they might want, the more people that we have living from an inspirational and following their pathway, the better world we're going to have. We can tackle all of those big problems. We can end a whole range of things. We can bring about equality, all of those things, if people were all living their passion.
Indeed.
Without the competition.
And also,
absolutely,
I wanted to bring up something else. When we look, in social media, at various, social media accounts, influencers, them, are not so authentic. And correct. I want to bring up one thing. The moment we lie, we may say things without being able to prove it, just because, we want profits, we want our business to grow, and we want to go faster. That is going to make us sick as well, because that's going to make us stressed. So it's not the stress, oh my God, I'm trying to see like a constructive stress. What can I do to grow my business? But it's the stress that comes from the brain, because the brain knows that you are hiding the truth. You are lying. Then the brain needs to create a scenario for yourself to get you out of trouble. And then the moment the respective lie is discovered, the brain needs to create another scenario to cover that. And so lie after lie after lie after lie. You cannot imagine what stress does to our skull. So the skull is going to become so tense that people really develop what is called TMJ, temporal mandibular joint syndrome, which means that all this side is so tense. And guess what? You see this side, right? Yes, exactly. So here it's a gland that produces our saliva. That is so tense that is not going to produce saliva anymore. And that's going to develop over time, of course, not in a day or two, but over time is going to develop cancer. So,
Christiana, we're down to the last minute, my love.
Oh my God.
We're down to the last minute. I know it goes really quickly.
Connection between lying and sickness as well. So it's so important to be honest and authentic. That was my point.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Girls, we are fast running out of time. I want to quickly remind our audience to jump on and connect with Cristiana. We have a link in the live LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube channels. If you can't find it on there, then jump on to radiotoni.com, look for our guests, and you will find the link to Cristiana's free 30-minute consultation. Kez, you gorgeous girl, thank you so much for co-hosting the show with me again today. Cristiana, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate your insights. We will be on a public holiday again next week, but we are going to do a replay show. So we won't be live next week. We'll be on a pre-record. Cristiana, Kez, thank you so much. This is A Conversation with Kez, and I'm your host, Toni Lotus. We will see you next time. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.